All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the July 7th, 2026 Board of County Commissioners meeting. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? All right, first thing on our agenda, our approval of our minutes. Do we have any additions or corrections?
No.
Okay.
Good.
I move to approve the proceedings of the Board of County Commissioners for Montezuma County held on June 23rd, 2026, as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the proceedings of the Board of Commissioners, Montezuma County, June 30th, 2026. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, next up is planning. All right, and this being the time set aside for a public hearing for Vistas Unlimited, LLLP. Would you call the roll, please, Kim?
Commissioner Candelaria.
Here.
Commissioner Lindsay.
Here.
Commissioner Copenhaver.
Here.
Administrator Anderson.
Here.
Attorney Tarnowski.
Here.
And Kim Purcell, County Clerk. Notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Board of County Commissioners will hold a public hearing for a review and determination regarding of a proposed two-lot minor subdivision and rezoning application submitted by Vistas Unlimited, LLLP, agent Larry Ott, on property located at 45989 Highway 160, Mancos, Colorado, consisting of 35.25 acres, more or less, located east and north of Highway 160, situated in sections 318 and 32, Township 36 North, Range 12 West, N.M.P.M. The hearing will be held Tuesday, July 7th, 2026, at 9 a.m. in the Commissioners' Hearing Room, Montezuma County Administrative Offices, 109 West Main, Cortez, Colorado. Interested persons may attend and give input. Information may be obtained from the Planning Office online services at https://co-montezuma-co.smartgovcommunity.com public home. You may also contact the Planning Department at 970-565-2801 with questions. Dated this 15th day of June, 2026, Kim Purcell, Clerk, Board of County Commissioners, Montezuma County, Colorado. Published in the Journal on Wednesday, June 24th, 2026.
All right, thank you, Kim. Okay, Don, would you give us an overview, please?
Sure. So the applicant is looking to split off the what's there in the upper left corner, split that lot off that has an existing house on it from the 35 acres. That would leave the remaining property with an old farmhouse and a barn on it. The family's looking to tear down the old farmhouse and rebuild, but then also add one more residence. So they're looking to subdivide so that they can have no more than 2 residences on that property. Access is off of 160. They'll have deeded easements. There's 2 accesses. They'll have deeded easements back and forth with all the properties so that they have 2-way access in and out for this subdivision as well as the 80 acres in the back. And then there's another property there on the northeast on the county line with La Plata County.
Okay.
Everything's served by wells, and the state's fine with it, with the wells and the houses and the plan.
Okay. Would you like to add anything, Mr. Ott?
Not really. That pretty well sums it up. We have a niece who wants to become a resident here, and so we're aiming to stay in compliance with the code.
Okay. All right. Commissioners, do you have any questions before I open this up?
Planning and zoning.
They were unanimous to recommend it for approval.
Commissioner?
So both these parcels already have a house on them?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like, and you're going to tear down the old one and then just
Yeah, my daughter and son-in-law are sort of rebuilding, keeping part of it and rebuilding part of my parents' house. And then, like I said, my niece is hoping to be able to move up here and build a house.
Right, which still compliant, two
Yeah.
Correct.
two
Yeah.
per lot. So it's all served by what's currently there. Okay.
Septic
Anything
in
else?
compliance?
Yes.
Anything? All right, well then, I will open up this application for public comment. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this application, please come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you may address the board at this time. Okay, seeing no public comment, I'll close the public comment session of this application and bring it back to the board. Gentlemen, what is your pleasure?
I have nothing further.
Our concern in that whole Mancos area is the water.
Yeah, so we have one well that currently serves the houses up there, the old one in particular, and all the houses have cisterns as well. So we do have water, some well water, which is still got water in it this year, and has had water in it every dry year. And we've added cisterns to all the residences as well. So that's the main issue, is dealing with that water.
So does the, so does the one well feed all the cisterns? So it's a
The one
community
well is feeding the house, the two houses, 45989 and also my parents' house.
Mhm.
It's permitted for 3, and all residences, including mine, which is on the 80 acres, have cisterns as well.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask a question of you, Don, then. If this is a community well that serves multiple cisterns, right? That's what it's doing right now?
It
And
can,
that is
correct.
permissible?
Permitted to do 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
Division of Water Resources says it's fine,
okay. So it's permitted for the 3?
yes.
So-
Right.
Okay. All right. That's all that I have.
Got any problem?
No.
I don't. Tickled me that they have a well.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
I move to approve this proposed 2-lot minor subdivision and rezoning application submitted by Vistas Unlimited LLP, agent Larry Odd, on property located at 45989 Highway 160, Mancos, Colorado.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the proposed 2-lot minor subdivision and rezoning application submitted by Vistas Unlimited LLLP, agent Larry Odd, on property located at 45989 Highway 160, Mancos, Colorado. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, sir, you have been approved. Thank you very much. You are dismissed.
Thank you.
Well, you don't have to be dismissed.
Yeah, you can
but
stay.
yes, you are free to go, sir. Thank you. All right. If we have the next applicants, I'll go ahead and bring them up.
Okay.
I'm watching the clock on the wall. I have to wait another minute, but we can get them.
Yeah, the Rankins are here.
situated. You don't have anything to sign or anything, so, all right, well, I guess we'll just wait for the proper time.
I can give you a couple of updates.
Sure.
Last week, we submitted our grant application for the short-term rental annual permit fee. And we should see funding hopefully the end of next month. And that that will incorporate money in there, whether it's Stephen's office or an outside specialized attorney's office to write an ordinance to cover that, as well as software for Granicus to provide us the data and the information moving forward. Also, Maverick received last week their approved driveway permit from CDOT. So that's free and clear and everything's moving forward there. They've been open for a couple, 3 weeks. Seems to be operating fine down there now. Had a complaint from Elegant Hills. Contacted CDPHE to make them aware of it, as well as for the resident to contact the hotline. I have not seen anything back from the hotline complaint, but CDPHE is fully aware of it. They have an assistant attorney general working on it for the last couple years, so they're in the process of doing something. Not sure what or when. Same story, different division.
Same story, different day. Yeah. Okay, well, it is 9:10, so with that, we do have this time being set aside for another public hearing for Douglas and Terri Rankin. Would you call the roll, please, Kim?
Commissioner Candelaria.
Here.
Commissioner Lindsey.
Here.
Commissioner Copenhaver.
Here.
Administrator Anderson.
Here.
Attorney Darnowski.
Here.
And Kim Purcell, County Clerk. Notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Board of County Commissioners will hold a public hearing for review and determination regarding a proposed subdivision amendment and rezoning application to lot number 2 of the Garon Ranch 2-lot minor subdivision submitted by Douglas and Terri Rankin on property located at 35511 Road R, Mancos, Colorado, consisting of 11.02 acres, more or less, located north of Highway 160, east of Road 35.3, situated in Section 28, Township 37 North, Range 14 West, N.M.P.M. The hearing will be held Tuesday, July 7th, 2026 at 9:10 a.m. in the Commissioners' Hearing Room, Montezuma County Administrative Offices, 109 West Main, Cortez, Colorado. Interested persons may attend and give input. Information may be obtained from the Planning Office online services at https://montezuma-co.smartgovcommunity.com public home. You may also contact the Planning Department at 970-565-2801 with questions. Dated this 15th day of June, 2026, Kim Purcell, Clerk, Board of County Commissioners, Montezuma County, Colorado, published in the Journal on Wednesday, June 24th, 2026.
All right, thank you, Kim. Okay, Don, quick overview on this one.
Sure. The Rankins are applying to subdivide their existing subdivision lot. Their house is there on the left side of the picture, and they would be splitting off the light gray area down at the bottom or to the right. Access would be somewhere near where the blue dot is. Basically just amending the 2-lot to make it a 3-lot moderate subdivision.
Okay. Would you like to add anything?
No, I wanted to keep it as simple as possible.
Okay. Ma'am? Okay. No, well, we're gonna get there right now, so, Commissioner, do you have any questions?
I don't. I mean, it's pretty simple.
I don't see 2 means of egress on this one, is there? Or is it just because I
So the
can't see it?
red road comes from the right-hand side there, up to their residence, and then another red road swings around the proposed 3-acre lot.
So we do have
Yes,
2 nearby.
correct.
And planning and zoning?
They were unanimous to recommend it for approval. The only condition is Wildfire Adaptive Partners recommended a wildfire mitigation plan, which Mr. Rankin can, I don't know if he's done that yet, but he can write his own plan and work with them on it. Basically, it's not for the new lot, it would be for
Yeah.
the northern section.
Right.
The new lot's out in
Looks
Nothing.
vacant out in the field.
And when we have had our mitigation assessment done last week for our existing home.
All right, well, if you have no other questions,
No.
I will open this application up for public comment. Anybody wishing to speak for or against? Please come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record prior to providing your comments, and you may address the board at this time. All right, seeing no public comment, I'll close the public comment session of this application and bring it back to the board. Gentlemen,
I have nothing further.
I don't have any.
pretty straightforward.
The rural water's available. The
Yes.
water's available there.
It is.
Sure. I don't have any problem. I move to approve the subdivision amendment and rezoning application to lot number 2 of the Garon Ranch 2-lot minor subdivision submitted by Douglas and Terri Rankin on property located at 35511 Road R, Mancos.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the proposed subdivision amendment and rezoning application to lot number 2 of the Garon Ranch 2-lot minor subdivision submitted by Douglas and Terri Rankin on property located at 35511 Road R, Mancos, Colorado. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, this has been approved. You have been accepted. Thank you all.
Thank you.
And I'll close this public hearing.
Dismissed?
Once again.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You are dismissed. But you're more than welcome to stay for all the meetings. All right, Don, it looks like we have one more as
We do.
far as for a discussion.
Yeah, Mr. N.M.P. is here.
All right.
So Mr. Emke and Mr. Lewis own property just south of the Forks up Highway 145. They are looking to do an exemption amendment. The 3 properties were created by an exemption. They have the one in the middle, and Mr. Lewis has the bigger one on the right. They want to do an exemption amendment so that Mr. Emke picks up another roughly 2.5 acres to add to his parcel.
Which, if I read that right, it makes it about 5 acres? Is that approximately? Okay.
Right. Yeah, it almost doubles it, or basically doubles it in size.
Okay.
These were created with an after-the-fact exemption in 2012.
I mean, pretty straightforward.
It's,
Two
yeah.
neighbors working with each other, wanted to, gosh, novel idea, isn't it? Two neighbors working with each other?
Yeah, communicate.
Wow. Kind of like to see that.
Yeah.
I don't have any issues
I
with this.
don't.
This just makes it better for both of you. Probably
Yeah.
less for you to take care of and more for you to take care of.
And they do have access off of the, what road is that?
38.1.
38.1.
Which
Across,
actually comes through the subdivision, right?
right, and then across the bridge. That
Yeah.
bridge has, is limited access. Actually, public access terminates before the river.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all private going back there anyway. so-
Correct.
Good.
Gerald, you good?
I don't have any problem with it. No, it's good.
Okay, I would so move, we accept the proposed boundary line adjustment application submitted by Scott and Mary Emke and Ron Lewis on properties located at 25010 and 25000 Road 38.1 Dolores.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the proposed boundary line adjustment application submitted by Scott and Mary M.K. and Ron Lewis on properties located at 25010 and 25000 Road 38.1, Dolores, Colorado. Is there any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for working with each other.
Thank you. It's good to see you.
Makes things easy.
Thank you. Thanks. You bet.
All right. Do you have anything else?
Nope, that's the end of our agenda.
Okay. Well, with that, thank you very much. And we are now going to move on as the Board of Health. The county commissioners do hold the role of the Board of Health. We had a continuation from June 23rd, so if all the parties are here, would you all come down, Ms. Hill?
Okay. We'll wait just a moment.
Sounds good. Oh, thank you. Got all your documentation. Is that all your documentation? Oh, got it. Okay. No, I understand. Well, we can talk to them about that, so that you can get this. So this is your loan agreement that you got from, okay. Okay. No, I understand. I understand. We can talk to them.
All right. Ready?
Okay,
All right, Kim, would you read the public notice again, please?
right.
Do you want me to call the roll as well?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sorry.
Commissioner Candelaria.
Here.
Commissioner Lindsey.
Here.
Commissioner Copenhaver.
Here.
Administrator Anderson.
Here.
Attorney Tarnowski.
Here.
And Kim Purcell Clerk. Notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Board of County Commissioners, sitting as the Montezuma County Board of Health, will continue a public hearing on July 7th, 2026 at 9 a.m. in the Commissioners' Room, 109 West Main Street, Cortez, Colorado, to consider evidence regarding a possible violation of state and local on-site wastewater treatment system, OWTS, regulations at the following property: 29181 Road J.6, Cortez, Colorado, 81321.
All right, thank you. Okay, Ms. Hill, where do we stand after our inspection?
So, Mr. Nelson Smith, the father of the property owner, invited us out to do a site visit on June 24th. And so we went out there and just kind of walked around. We did confirm that there is no water. There's no water tap whatsoever for this property, which is a requirement. And so therefore, there's no septic, which is also a requirement. The good news is we observed no signs of any kind of gray or black water being discharged onto the ground. I thought it looked pretty straightforward. I didn't really have any public health risks. As far as discharge right now, they indicated that all their black water and gray water is being stored and disposed of at the Maverick. So that's how they're handling it right now. There are currently four residences on this property, a single wide and 3 RVs. And so this is not public health, it's more planning and zoning, but I did share with them that we're only allowed 2 residences per parcel, so they are aware of that as well. There is a 5th RV that's currently not occupied, but it may be so in the future. So I will let Nelson, the father, speak up, but Nelson offered to have a porta-john installed, and he did so. He told me verbally that he had it delivered on July 1st. He also shared with me that he's securing a loan so that he can get water and septic to this property. So I will let Nelson, the father, speak to that.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Should
If you
bring it
could
closer.
pull that up close to your mouth so that we can hear you.
Okay, we got these paperwork, finally Thursday, after about 12 different loan places denied a loan, or they had restrictions on it, you can't have a house on it, but we'll give you a loan if you take everything off the property, and so I finally got the loan papers. Now I started looking through the loan papers, and I can't figure it out. So I'm gonna have to get some type of social service or somebody to give me a hand to go through these paperwork, because it's all Greek to me. Some of the things they ask, I don't know whether to answer, and I don't want to mess up the loan papers. So I'm trying to comply with everything possible, but it's gonna take some time to get all this done, and I've gotta get an evaluation on the property for the loan, and then I've gotta get, I guess, engineer or something out there for the septic.
For the
tank.
septic, yes.
And my daughter knows Mr. Story. I don't know if you're aware of him. He's an architect, engineer type deal. But he's with his son right now in the hospital, visiting his son or taking care of his son in the hospital. So I'm trying to get a hold of him also. And then I find out now I gotta have the electric go out there and give me an estimate, the water, and all the others, so now I've got to arbitrate that this week. And I'm hoping we can get some time to get this all done, because like she said, there's no gray water or nothing out there. There's no waste out there. And I put the commode on there to ensure that there wouldn't be no violation. So I hope you guys can help me with this and we can get all this straightened out.
So, thank you, sir. What was the original complaint? Was for the OWTS not being?
They had
Functionable?
concerns. The original complaint was that there were concerns because of the multiple recreational vehicles that they weren't properly managing the black or gray water.
Okay. So, sir, you do not have an RV park out there is probably the complaint. So
Yes.
If you have people living in the RVs, whether they are serviced or not serviced, that's not permissible, because it's not an RV park. If it was an RV park, it would be permitted, it would have gone through planning and zoning, and you would have an RV park, which you do not have, because you would have to have water and septic out there. Therefore, if you have, and I'm looking at both of you and planning, but you have to have water and septic to have an occupancy for dwelling. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so with that in mind, you cannot have people out there living without any type of services. So therefore, we're not saying that you have to remove the RVs, but you cannot have people living in those RVs. So there is no way to make the sanitary system acceptable, and those have to be vacated. So if that's vacated, you have your porta potty out there. I don't think, which by the way, thank you. I think that shows very good that you're trying to work with this, but we've got to get it cleaned up. So the RVs have got to stop being occupied until you get time to get your situation squared away. If you get water and septic out there, then it becomes a different situation. But at this point in time, I don't think as a Board of Health we have any other option but to require the vacation of the RVs at this point in time. Am I incorrect, Stephen?
I think really we're here on the possible OWTS violation. So I think really the scope is a little more narrow. So I think the board could certainly give, really give some time to the applicants as one possible solution, not the applicants, but the property owners here, to clear some of this up, or the board could decide to issue a cease and desist order for using, basically the system, and that's not a great fit here, given the fact pattern I think that's been developed, which would go into effect after 30 days. So there's already kind of a built-in time frame to allow for compliance. Certainly, there's still the possibility for the board to find that some of the different, penalties under the regulations might be appropriate for constructing, altering, installing, or permitting the use of any OWTS without having applied for and received a permit, violating the terms of a cease and desist order would not apply here. So I think as the Board of Health really, given the hearing that we're noticed for today, I think the board could choose to issue a cease and desist order, or probably allow more time for the property owners to address some of the issues on their property related to not having the septic system on the property with all the occupants that are there.
Okay, so basically where I was alluding to is that the occupation or the occupancy has to cease because there is nothing out there. So I guess that would be the cease and desist order, which would then give you more time to get your, your issues in order. He has at least made progress by getting a porta potty out there, which I think that shows good, a good gesture. I don't think at this point in time that I would personally like to talk about penalties, but we do have to get something done. And so I think the cease and desist order, just my opinion, would probably be in order to make sure that we get the occupants out of there so that nobody is using anything that's a potential hazard.
That's just out of the RVs?
It's basically everything. Nothing has hooked up to water or sewer, correct?
Nothing is, there's no water whatsoever there.
We haul
And
water.
you haul water, right, and then you dispose of your gray and black water. But they have, like I said, currently that is being resided in right now is a single wide and 3 RVs. And so,
Even
and the
if you're
land use
hauling-
code, I know is not a Board of Health thing, but the land use code only allows 2.
Correct. But if you're hauling water, you still have to have a way of disposal. So neither one of them.
Correct, yes.
Nothing out there has a way of disposal of the water,
Right.
which creates a cease and desist. Gentlemen? Thoughts?
Well, he should stay on the property because he comes over early in the morning, he goes home late at night. He just sleeps there to make sure that nothing's stolen. And there's been things out there that's been messed with and stolen and stuff. And he doesn't. He eats at my house, he showers at my house and everything else. Same way with my daughter, she works. And she goes to her girlfriend's house. And they just sleep there right now. Those are the 2 big trailers that we're concerned about. I don't know if it's against the law to sleep in a trailer on your own property, but in fact, we didn't know any of this until, we were served with papers. I'm oblivious to the laws out here, even though I've lived here for 20 years. You know, I always thought that living off the grid was acceptable.
So, I understand your situation, however, we are dealing with what we have in front of us today, and with people occupying the space out there, it has to be compliant so that we're fair and equal to everybody else. So we don't have water and we don't have septic, which means that it's basically should not be or cannot be occupied. So I think we're back to the cease and desist. We will give you more time to get your issues in order, I think. And again, at this
Commissioner,
point in
can I just
time,
say
I'm not in
something? I don't mean
favor
to
of any
interrupt.
penalties. Go ahead.
So I would just like to speak on behalf of Nelson Smith and his son. They very much welcomed us to their property. I believe that the father, Nelson, has done quite a bit in a week's time, attempting, he got the porta potty on there. He also actually met with the veterans, with Rick at the veterans. Unfortunately, Rick wasn't able to help him. We were hoping that that would be a financial assistance, but that didn't work out. So he did do that, and he's also got the application here and needs some assistance to get that completed. So he's definitely showing good faith effort, and he's not even the landowner. The property owner is the son, Nelson. So I would like to just speak on behalf of the fact that there was no evidence of waste on the property. They have a black tank that they are hauling to Maverick to, you know, just like the RV tanks with black tanks. They're hauling that and dumping. I would like to request that they be given some additional time to process this application, and at least, because literally they didn't know. And Nelson's helping his son Nelson through kind of a difficult time trying to figure this out, because they literally just have learned of all this. And we attempted to serve them many times, but we were serving the wrong address. We were serving the address where Nelson, the owner, lives, but he's not there because he spends his day at the dad's house after he sleeps in his camper overnight. So again, you know, once they found out they were here 2 weeks ago, they let us on their property, and he's done as much as he could in a week's time. So again, I would hate to see people made homeless without technically a violation of a public health issue. Let's give them time to do the application and see what happens. So that's
You're requesting for the occupancy of one of the RVs, not
well,
five?
ideally, there is the double wide where the daughter lives, and then there are the other three.
He's got a double wide, and then there's,
Yeah. So there's 4 technically that are occupied right now, and they are hauling water in, and then hauling their waste out in the black tank. So, and we saw no evidence of a violation of that. So, given the situation that they're just finding this out, and you know, I don't want to say too much, but Mr. Nelson does have some health issues that I do think that he's dealing with as well, and trying to help his son. So.
and my son also has health issues. He got injured in the mine, and he's got TBI and body
Right.
damage in his shoulder and stuff. So we're trying to work through this as,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not asking for no favors. I never have my entire life, 74 years, you know, but we do need more time to get this.
So are all the RVs occupied?
No, they're not all occupied at the moment. There's empties sitting there.
Actually, I have, there are 4 that are currently being lived in, as
Well,
you
he
walked
just-
me
he just
around.
stays
He's
in
in one, the trailer's in one, the guy that was
Jerry,
out, Jerry, is in one.
that's his brother that's,
Yeah, there's a male
Jerry.
relative, then there's the property owner, the son that's sitting next to me. Nelson, the son's mom, is living there, and the daughter.
She's got heart
And they're all,
conditions.
they're all separate residences. So there's 4 being lived in.
Right.
How big is that lot?
It's 10 acres,
10 acres?
and it's been subdivided from the guy that he bought it from. According to the maps and everything he got when he bought the place, I don't know, back in 2008, 10, it's all subdivided. There's like 9 different lots under.
On the 10 acres?
Yes.
So I'm not going to
It's
try to
one
convolute
big
this.
10 acres,
I'm
but
gonna
it's
try to
already
bring
been
it back just to
subdivided.
the OWTS
Yeah.
that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, because it sounds like there are a lot of other violations with land use, so we're not talking about land use today, we're
Right.
talking about OWTS. So,
Even if I had the cash money today to get all this started, it's still gonna take time. You know, and his mother, she's got heart condition, she's 74 years old, you know, and she basically has no place to go. His brother's got mental problems, he's got no education. There's not much of a place he can go, you know, so.
So from an OWTS perspective, I think what I'd like to do, because I don't really have a whole lot of knowledge on, so instead of like a cease and desist at this moment in time until they can kind of figure out their stuff, I think I'd like to do some research on how many people can a porta-john support safely. Because, you know, he did his part of getting that on site right away. So maybe we just let them, I don't know, I need to call and see.
they have that criteria, we have it on job sites of what you have to have per personnel per week, so they have that information.
They do have that, so I'll get that information. Maybe we can just do that as like another step before I'm just thinking out loud.
They come out once a week and service it, so it's on a weekly basis they service it. So I've seen them on construction sites servicing 20, 30, 40 people.
So, I get the ask, and you know,
This looks to me like if there's no violation at this time, is that,
Well, I would say there is, because the fact that they don't even have water. So water is definitely a requirement for a septic system. So,
Yeah, I think there's been testimony that there isn't water, but there's also not evidence of gray or black water
correct,
discharge.
correct.
so let me ask you a question then. How much time do you think you would need before we have you compliant?
I don't know, sir. I don't know how long it's gonna take to get this loan approved. I don't know how long Mr. Story is gonna take to get out there to, architect the septic tank. I don't know how long it's gonna take.
So
to-
the architect doesn't do septic
Engineers do.
engineering? You need an
Engineering.
engineer?
Yeah,
I'm not
and-
familiar with Mr. Story, but that doesn't mean he's not
I
a,
am. He's not. He's
Okay.
a draftsman, he's not an engineer.
okay.
You know, I don't know how long it's gonna take each one of these things to get completed. How long, you know, how long on a wait list you're gonna be, or any of that, so.
So have you given him because Public Health has a list of
Yes,
engineers that are acceptable, it's pretty
Yes.
lengthy. So you could probably get one relatively quickly, and to design it doesn't take a great period of time.
no, it doesn't. I mean,
Wow.
there are engineers.
And the water company is, all you gotta do is if there's water available, go by your tap, and that shouldn't take any time either, so. You guys have a,
Yeah, I don't know how to do a procedure on any of this, you know. It's like going into a fifth grade classroom and throwing
Sure.
all this at them and they're
Pub-
saying,
Public
how
Health
do I,
will help,
you know, how do I maneuver all
they
this?
will
How do I
help
get
walk
through?
you through the process. to
Yes,
get-
we will.
To get it done.
Yeah, I'd
So,
like to have somebody help
yeah,
me.
They will help you. And that,
Yes.
that will make the process go a lot smoother for you. Understand that? So,
I've gone to USDA, I've gone to DAV, I've gone
60?
to the VFW, I went to the American
60 days?
Legions, all of them.
I don't know.
Let's get,
I think,
okay.
personally, I think we should give them, because they haven't made progress, I think we should give them 30 days, but I want to see progress. I want to see something's happening out there, because you're still in a land use violation.
Right.
Even though we get these other things done, you're still in a land use violation by having that many residents on that lot. So you're gonna have to work on several different things here. But if we give you 30 days, we wanna see some progress. Something's gonna be happening. Is that,
In
I'm
30
trying to be
days-
fair.
You're not going out of your way, you know, or, excuse me. I don't know how long it's gonna take for this loan to go through, you know.
I understand that,
So
but at
if
least
I-
in 30 days' time from now, we want to see that you have some progress,
Got
that
the
you're doing
loan
something.
going, and I've got these other people coming out with some things, you know. Because I can't have people come out and I have to pay for it, because I don't make that much money. And he don't make that much money. So I can't dig it in my pocket. You know, I've got a sick wife at home who's got heart problems.
And we understand all that, sir. So what we're trying to do is
We're
work
trying
with
to-
you.
we're trying to give you
and
some
we are
time to
trying to
be-
give you some time.
To be compliant, come back and be
30
compliant.
days will probably give me enough time to maybe get this going and getting some bids and stuff.
That's what I'm talking about. If
Okay.
you can show us that you were doing something and you're working toward it, that's a whole different thing. We're not trying to make it where you're, I mean, I don't want to do a cease and desist order where you've got to make those people move and do all this stuff. We're trying to work with you to make it,
I appreciate it.
but you've got to help us too,
All right.
okay?
And I do believe he has. I mean, he jumped on that porta-john right away, you know, and he also had us come out immediately. So I think
So
that he's,
the only issue that I see is when you hire an engineer, you've got to actually pay the engineer to design your system.
right.
If he doesn't have any money, this could go on into perpetuity, because and again, I'm not trying to be harmful to you at all, sir. I'm just trying to look at the rest of the county. We're trying to keep everything equal for the rest of the county. I understand your situation, and I feel for you. I think that maybe it should be 45 days. I'm not sure. I think for anybody else, 30 days might be acceptable, but maybe 45 days, which gives you even a longer period of time, but at that point in time, we've got to take further action, so.
Do you have any inclination of what that engineer would cost?
You know, I don't know the engineer, but I do know like an average 3-bedroom house with a leach field. It all depends on soils. There's all kinds of, but it can be 25,000. So
Your
can I suggest, the fewer bedrooms that you have, meaning like if you just have an RV and a single wide, and that's just a total of 2 bedrooms, that drops your cost right there.
The RVs are fully equipped. You start them up, you take them down, fill them up, and you dump them. So I don't see no problem there either.
Well, we
Just
do,
like going camping.
but we do
Okay.
require a septic
So,
system.
Commissioner Lindsay, what's your timeframe?
I would be leaning towards 45 days. I would make the motion that we continue this for 45 days out and to see some sort of effort on your part to comply. Because we're gonna start going down a long road here before this is done.
I
Because
understand that.
we've got land use problems out there that, with all of this, because all of a sudden, if you've got an RV park sprung up out there, then there's gonna be issues with land use.
You're just saying that nobody can live in them RVs. I can still have them, but I can't live in them.
No, that was the first conversation. What Commissioner Copenhaver stated, if I heard this properly, is that we're gonna give you, it sounds like now 45 days to show that you have hired the engineer, that your septic system is being designed, and that you have the capability of getting a water tap. We're gonna give you 45 days because there was no signs of any black or gray water on the ground. We're willing to work with you. So that has to stay that way, and you've got your porta potty out there on site, so that gives a facility to those people that are there right now. That way we are not displacing anybody that's there to create homelessness elsewhere. So you have 45 days, is that correct, Commissioner?
That's fine.
So, I've got that right. Okay.
So you made it?
Second.
Yeah.
He did motion it.
You made the motion?
Yes.
Okay, second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to give this applicant, Mr. Smith, 45 days
So we're just going to continue
to
the hearing?
show
Yeah.
compliance with the OWTS regulations. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but then this will also be continued until that point in time. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, sir, you have 45 days. Public Health will help you with that, so,
So
Stephen?
just to try to clarify this a little bit, so 45 days from today I have is Friday, August 21st. When do we want to come back as the Board of Health on this matter?
The next Monday
Yeah.
The next Monday would
Monday or
be,
Tuesday.
or Tuesday? either
so
one.
Tuesday, August 25th.
Okay.
I'll get a letter to you. I'll get a letter to you, and then we'll work out all the details so that you can get things rolling. If you can, like, come to our office, but I'll give you a call.
Okay.
And this would be at 9 a.m. again, I'm asking?
Yeah.
Okay, 9 a.m.
All right, we'll work it in. All right, sir, you have time. All right.
Thank you, gentlemen. You have a good day.
Yep. Okay.
Can I mention that I don't believe she's on the agenda, but she did get served a letter, a property owner that was supposed to appear. Oh, Nicey? Nicey's here. So we have another property owner that we had served to come and talk about her septic situation. Is that all right, or do you want me to move the date?
It's not on the agenda, and typically if it's not on the agenda.
I
we can't-
apologize. I
Yeah.
apologize.
I don't know what was in the letter. Was it in the letter to note to come to this
Yes.
time?
Yes, and I don't know. Anyhow, it was in the letter served by the deputy. And we can reschedule it.
Yeah, my preference would be to reschedule just because we've got, sounds like half of the equation done. So do we have another date that we could?
Can I get the property owner to see? Hi, Nicey. Thank you for coming. I apologize for the mix-up. When would the next time that we could get this on the agenda so that Nicey can,
We can do it next week.
next
I
week?
mean, Yeah,
The 14th?
we're here every week.
Does that work for you, Nicey? Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sirs.
So then,
Yes.
okay, check your calendar, because the time may be 10 o'clock depending on his calendar, but we'll let you know here in just a second.
What was that again, sir?
It may be later than 9 o'clock.
Okay.
He's going to check his calendar to make sure we don't already have
Okay.
public hearings that are
And then we'll just get that.
in the queue.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, just hang tight, and we'll get you a time. Do you have any others that we need to address?
I have others.
Okay, well.
Just not for today.
All right.
I'm a busy lady. The word gets out.
Just make sure that we get it on the agenda so that we can actually
Yeah.
go through the process, otherwise it's not.
I apologize for that. That's my mistake.
Okay.
Nine o'clock works?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, 9 o'clock next week on the 14th.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, so.
Appreciate
make
your
sure we
time.
Put that down for the Board of Health too.
Yeah.
Quick,
I would so
quick
move.
question.
Is this part of the Board of Health meeting?
Oh,
We're
no,
gonna
just a
adjourn.
quick question. If a land use code discussion can also be had on the same property? Something to think about.
Okay, move us out of Board of Health.
Move we adjourn the Board of Health, Montezuma County.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn this special Board of Health meeting and resume our regularly scheduled Board of County Commissioners meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I have your question noted. So we'll have to, I can see pondering on it, so we'll see where we have to go from there. All right. All right, now we're going back to
Reconvene the Board of County Commissioners.
reconvene, and we are at public comment. So, come on down. The public comment portion of the agenda provides the public an opportunity to speak to the Board of Commissioners about issues that are not on the main agenda. Testimony relating to a scheduled agenda item will not be allowed during public comment. Rules of decorum will be strictly enforced. Outbursts and interruptions from any person in the hearing room, including shouting, clapping, booing, laughing, or other reactions to the proceedings are prohibited. Any comment from the public shall only be made by the persons who are residents of Montezuma County who have been recognized by the chair and who are speaking into the microphone, and only after they have stated their name and address for the record. Each person will have 3 minutes to comment. No speaker may yield part or all of his or her time to another speaker, and comments shall only be made to the board. No comments or questions shall be directed to staff or other members of the public. And with that, the chair recognizes.
John Godbout, 28,000 County Road T.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I know that with the Ironwood situation, there's like a court hearing coming up, and they've been moving some material, but it's a horrible picture. But it is nowhere near the beneficial use determination of 3-inch of depth. I mean, we're like at a foot. I mean, just mathematically on 60 acres, you can't have 100,000 cubic yards get to 3 inches. So, I mean, now we just have I don't even know if that's worse, because we have this giant fuel bed, essentially, that's now spread out over several acres. So that's just for your consideration for any type of talks you might be having before the contempt hearing. And then I wanted you to also perhaps consider, I know that a couple of years ago there was a determination made that they didn't need a special use permit to operate a biochar facility, but I pick this up off my property like daily, and that requires mitigation. So if it's leaving their property, just by nature of the land use code, I mean, they're required to mitigate that and would require a special use permit. That's all I have to say, just for your information. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, with that, we'll close the public comment session. We'll move right along into our consent agenda. Anything that we need to pull off?
I don't see anything.
So the only thing that I have to add, which will add this under, well, it's not under the consent, so go ahead.
One thing, at least on my version of the consent agenda, we've got the approval of Area Agency on Aging contract for senior services.
Oh,
And my
that's-
recollection is we pulled that off
Yeah, that's
yesterday.
removed.
Yeah.
You're correct.
So we will pull out bullet point number 3 out of the consent agenda, so we have 4 bullet points. And then we'll be adding another one that we did discuss, but we'll put that under individual items for consideration.
Okay, I'd so move we approve the consent agenda consisting of approval of the Forest Service SRS payment election and allocation, approval of policy 26-04 on political activity within the confines of Montezuma County government, approval of resolution authorizing a bank's account for the sheriff's office for payment of inmate bonds.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to accept the consent agenda as presented with the removal of the approval of the Area Agency on Aging contract for senior services. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we're gonna move on to items needing individual consideration. The first one is a discussion and possible decision related to the specifics of the proposed lodgers tax ballot initiative. This was discussed yesterday in our workshop. It sounds like everybody is on the same page for sure. And ballot language is within your hand now, Stephen. And,
Yes, so given that statement, Commissioners, I don't know that there's really any decision needed. The board previously moved, for me to move forward with this ballot language. And really, I just wanted to make sure I hadn't, shirked my responsibilities to inform you of some of the particularities there. So I think I'm clear that we're just moving forward with kind of that original decision a few weeks ago.
okay. So we don't need any activity there then, so we're good to
No.
go. All right, moving on, we have another bullet point that will be added because we did somehow leave it off from the conversation that we had yesterday for the supplemental budget request 2026. Do you gentlemen have any questions on that? That was presented yesterday.
Yeah.
Any questions? It's pretty specific. All the information is there if you need it. These are the requests for the budget supplemental. It has been advertised, so we have gone through the proper process for this function.
Now, we direct you to create a supplemental budget resolution, correct?
So this one,
Okay.
has already been created thanks
All
to Mr. Dobry. So we just need to approve it. It's not listed individually on our agenda, just as it was like
Right.
an oversight basically, but
Get that.
we discussed it yesterday.
Number 3.
3.
Okay.
I move to approve resolution number 3, 2026, resolution appropriating additional sums of money to defray expenses in excess of amounts budgeted for Montezuma County.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept resolution number 3, 2026, a resolution appropriating additional sums of money to defray the expenses of in excess of amounts budgeted for Montezuma County. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right.
It's not on the agenda as well.
Oh, it is actually as
was.
part of the
It was part of the
consent
consent.
agenda.
Oh,
It's the second
We'll just have
bullet
to
point
sign
there.
okay, sorry.
And that was one, Commissioners, that we had discussed a few weeks back, but we had just neglected to include it in the agenda that week. So that's why it's on the agenda this week for the meeting.
Got it. Done. All right, moving right along. We have no executive session. County Attorney's report.
Commissioners, thanks to Mr. Godbout there in public comment. I don't have anything further to report as far as an update in the Ironwood litigation. we've reached back out to their attorney. We haven't heard anything. Kind of the same song and dance there. I also do not have an update as far as any decision in the Leaf Properties case. So I've been singing the same song here the last few weeks on those two fronts. Otherwise, I think the discussion about the ballot language is obviously very timely. And Ms. Purcell, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the deadline to certify to you that the board intends to move forward with ballot measures is 100 days before the election, and that would be July 23rd.
23rd, yes, sir.
So
That's correct.
I'm planning on putting the this ballot measure resolution and the term limit ballot measure that the board previously expressed an interest in on next week's agenda so that we can complete that before that deadline and continue in that process. So I'll be finishing that up here in the next day or two and then getting that before the board soon. I also want to update the board that Don Haley and I talked about the proposed rubbish ordinance, and we're planning on getting that on the workshop for next Monday to talk about some of the particularities there. And then if the board does decide to move forward, we'll need to move forward with the ordinance public hearing and publication process. But we've got a draft of that pretty much ready for the board's review. Let me look at my notes. I think I had a couple other things I wanted to update on. And I'm also going to be meeting with Road and Bridge Department and the sheriff this afternoon to have a conversation about kind of different departments working together relating to road maintenance when there are vehicles or other personal property in the county road right-of-way, and how that process works, and trying to help Road and Bridge get that stuff moved so that they're able to do the maintenance that they need to do. But those are some of the bigger issues coming up this week. Any questions about any of those things?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm concerned about that picture. But we had that conversation many years ago. We told them there was not enough real estate to spread that kind of product 3 inches thick on that property. So I'll leave it at that. We'll hopefully get Spratland out there to do an inspection, or John O'Rourke, because that's not anywhere compliant with the permit, which is just one more non-compliant issue, but I'll leave it at that.
Right, and I just want to, we're back in court on Monday, August 10th for contempt hearing on our motion for contempt. So, whatever the status is going to be on the property at that point in time is going to be, something the court's going to be very interested in as far as determining whether or not the owner and operators are in contempt of the court's order.
Okay. All right. Is that it?
Yes.
All right. County Administrator.
Commissioners had a meeting or follow-up with Performance Services on their structure assessment. They'll probably be asking for another quick meeting, probably a phone call or maybe a Zoom with one of the commissioners. Did receive some follow-up from Congressman Hurd's office on the fire. They were referred to Dolores County, but basically seeking input as to what might be needed as it relates to the fires. Followed up on some collective bargaining questions. Did meet with Enterprise. Their evaluation for the Ford Explorer and I believe a Tahoe 2027, it should be coming out here in the next couple of weeks, so we should have some information on that for the Sheriff's Office vehicle. Attended a cooperating meeting. Road and Bridge is going to be doing some work up there as it relates to the road that we don't want to have degrade to the point where we have to really do a lot of work with the fire trucks and emergency services. So they're going to be doing some work up north. Got a lot of responses from county administrators, which was very beneficial. Everybody's seeking their input and assistance on whatever resources they can bring to bear if we need them for potential fires on our county. And again, I'll be meeting with the sheriff, Heath and Stephen, be attending that meeting on the abandoned vehicles and trailers and stuff that's in our right-of-ways today. And then lastly, a direction on what you guys are going to do for the interim.
So, I'll kind of team up, it's not my, but I'll kind of team up with Travis on this. So, we did get through the job description, for the county administrator. I did meet with HR. There were a few strikeouts that we had to do and add some, language in there for the job description, so that should be posted by the end of the day. And iSolved and the other search engines, that we may have the opportunity, some of those we may have to pay for, so HR will be getting us a cost if we want to look at those further. So again, that posting should be done by the end of the day today. You guys are aware of the strikeouts that we added. With that, we also put the pay cap, the pay scale, top and the bottom, where we're at. So that will, I don't know if they post that with that or not, but I'm sure they probably do. And then as part of two other things here, I did have a conversation with Travis. He does need a couple months sabbatical, but he would be willing to come back by contractual basis, short term, and that could be starting at 9/7, so September 7th, to help us out in the short term by contract, if we're willing to accept that, until we find a new county administrator. So that's one. And then, well, I'll stop there and see if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns. I would need approval from the board to basically look at the contract, obviously with Stephen's help, to make sure that it's something that we would accept, if we want to go down this route. But he would be willing to come back on 9/7 of this year to help us in the short term get through this year until we find us a full-time administrator. But he does need the couple months sabbatical.
Yeah, I don't, it's going to be difficult to replace Travis. Finding an administrator for a job like this seems to be more and more difficult all the time. Talking to different counties, they appoint sometimes an interim from inside the administration, and that doesn't seem to work too well. So, in a different process, should we go further? Should we?
Well, we will have to go further.
Yeah.
So
There's got to be a captain of this ship. And I think if we, by statute, we can divide this up and take this into consideration amongst the three commissioners, as long as we don't meet outside the public and make decisions, which is going to be very difficult to do, but I think it can be done. And I think we should ask the attorney to draft a resolution providing those specifications. Is that possible?
Yeah, that is something that the board could do. As Commissioner Lindsay kind of outlined, in this time where there is no administrator, the board can certainly take up those duties. And I think you know, we'll need to figure out what the specifics would look like for a plan like that, which commissioners are going to be responsible for which duties. Certainly, we can look to some other counties that don't regularly employ administrators, and are set up a little differently, if that's, you know, kind of the approach that the board would want to take in this about 2-month time frame until possibly Mr. Anderson would come back.
I mean, that makes logical sense to me.
We have some very, very capable department heads that can run their own departments, but there has to be an oversight of some sorts.
So can you have that resolution ready by next Monday? Or, I'm sorry, yeah, for discussion at the workshop?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
get a draft resolution for the workshop to talk about basically how the duties of the administrator could be divided up amongst the board.
With Travis's input. I mean,
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
all right. So then we can have that resolution for our workshop, and we could then, next Tuesday's meeting, then make a decision one way or another.
Correct. And the one thing that I think would be good to accomplish today too, given this conversation, is just for some clear direction from the board. If you guys would like Commissioner Candelaria to negotiate a contract with Mr. Anderson to come back as a, you know, interim administrator, short-term kind of thing, I do just think that would be something the board should move to authorize Commissioner Candelaria to go ahead and do.
Okay. You all right?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay. I would so move, we direct the attorney to create a resolution for the interim administration of Montezuma County by the Montezuma County Commissioners, and also the motion to include Commissioner Candelaria as chairman of the board to negotiate a contract with Travis Anderson for the interim after and including September 7th onward. I don't have an ending date.
Well,
It might be,
Short-term,
might be a
that'll be
permanent
contractual.
interim, you know.
that'll be contractual, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, let me see if I capture this all. So it's been moved and seconded to direct the attorney to create the resolution dividing the duties of the administrator up between the board, and then giving the chairman authority to negotiate a contract with Mr. Anderson starting 9/7 of '26, and that's it. So, any further discussion?
Should be possibility. I mean, what if we find somebody between now and then?
Well, then the contract would
I
not,
mean,
not
Yeah.
happen.
That should probably be in the contract.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all I was.
that's a good point.
I mean, I realize that's not very likely, but
So I'm happy to participate in that
Yeah.
conversation,
Okay.
and assist Commissioner Candelaria
just by chance.
with, you know, with what those provisions might look like. And then I do just think that contract should ultimately be something that is affirmed by the board as a
Absolutely.
whole.
Yes.
So that'd be something we would bring back to the board for approval, and obviously the provisions could be further discussed at that time.
Okay.
All right. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, there you go, Stephen. Okay, now, Kim, clerk and recorder.
Just want to remind the public that we are still within the signature cure process for your ballots. If you received any kind of a notification by text or mail or email to come in and get your ballots cured, if you have any kind of signature discrepancy, it's a super easy form. If you didn't get one in the mail, come by and see us. You can do it by email, you can do it by fax, You can do it in person, but we still have some that are still outstanding. So that's all I have.
Do you have anything?
He did it all.
Oh, okay.
Commissioner Copenaver.
This past week or so, we've had some meetings with our AAA board, and it was decided by the board to, which is the adult aging agency that supplies our senior services and stuff, we dissolved that group in order for some things were not getting done, and we were actually 2 years behind on some compliance with the state of Colorado. It's putting us in a bad situation, and I personally didn't have much faith that we were gonna, with our director, that we were gonna get straightened out. So the board actually voted to dissolve that, turn it back over to the state, and it'll come back out. Hopefully, when it comes back out, we'll be able to handle it through our social services department. It's done that way in a lot of other places in the state, and most of the providers in this area were not very happy with what was being done, and ended up that looked to me like the best solution was to dissolve it and start all over. And so that's basically the process that's going on right now. We'll have another interim director here pretty soon, that we can actually get out the rest of the contracts that hadn't already been out. And then we're gonna go through the process of dissolving that whole thing with the state. And it's in the process right now, so that's about all I've got to report.
Thank you, Commissioner Levy.
Yes, I don't have city council until next week. Fire update, I did see, I haven't confirmed it yet, that they're moving the command center from Dolores to the Cortez High School. And there will be a complex team, and Team 8 is out of time, they're out of here, and Team 7 from California is coming in to operate that complex. Empire Electric, Tri-State, and WAPA are experiencing downtimes, outages, but they're working feverishly to get around those. They're regenerating and removing and going around on bypassing lines and everything else, but some of those lines have to be inspected visually by personnel. So it may be a little bit of time before it gets up, and they may all be up by now, who knows, but they're doing a heck of a job up there. So please be careful out on those roads. Give fire traffic the right of way. It blew up pretty good again yesterday. What an incredible sight that was. I guess lack of better terms for incredible, but that was some kind of cloud yesterday. We're going to be with this for quite some time. You're going to see smoke, but then the rehab teams will come in and going to create a lot of traffic in the area also. And that's about all I have to say.
One thing I will say, just like what Kent was talking about those lines being changed around and stuff, it affects a lot of different things. It was just like it shut down the pumping at the Great Cut Dike, so we were out of water in a couple of our canals for MVI for a short period of time till that got put back on. So there's a lot of different things that it affects around that people don't realize, but all those things have to happen in order for any of that water to be distributed out north toward Dove Creek in those canals. That all has to be pumped. So same with our unilateral on MVI. And so when that electricity goes off for a while, people get a little irritated because they don't have any water. But it was short term, so.
At least we have it.
Yeah.
We have it back now. All right, so for me, in light of creating this resolution, I would also like to ask your gentlemen's opinion, I know that we do appoint the supervisor for the Road and Bridge Department. I do believe that Heath Higgins is ready at this point in time. Travis, if you have any comments on that, we haven't finished all of the training that we would like to have given him, but that can continue as he goes through. But with having the light of Travis leaving and having to do these other issues, I do believe that it would be prudent for us to go ahead and move Heath and name him as the full-time road and bridge superintendent.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Go ahead, Joe.
I so move that we appoint Heath Higgins as the road and bridge superintendent.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to appoint Heath Higgins as the full-time superintendent of road and bridge. Is there any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, now I'll continue with my report, and I'm going to try to keep it short, but I may not. And I may just
You may
I'll look
wonder
at my
why.
attorney. First of all, transparency. You know, I was reading some of the ridiculous social media posts last night, and I have to make some of the corrections. So, first of all, this board has approved a salary survey. Very transparent, very out in public, and the cost associated with it is very transparent and out in public. So when you start spouting off that we're spending $200,000 on a salary survey, somebody, please do your homework. Maybe I should have given some time for the keyboard warriors to sign on, but hopefully you'll get this through a recording. So do a little bit of homework. You say you're out there to work and do some homework and you're going to work hard and be transparent. Well, let's be transparent. $200,000 is not what we're spending. To send people into this room to create chaos to where we have to remove them is part of why we have to read the rules of decorum in here. This is a public meeting. We're taking care of public business. It is not appreciated, and every once in a while, we get extremely agitated up here also. So if you're called something, it's because you are probably deserving of it, and you will be removed. And I'm going to leave it with this. Commissioner Copenhaver said this the best. If you lie, cheat, or steal, you will not be working for this county. And I'll leave it at that. That's my report.
Motion to adjourn.
Well,
Second.
I guess we
Oh.
can reconvene as the Board of,
Yes.
okay. So it's been moved and seconded to adjourn this July 7th County Commissioners meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, and now it's 10 o'clock, and we do have a special meeting for the E911 Board, so we'll be reconvening as the E911 Board. So with that, Mr. Dobry.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Morning.
So are you convened as the E911 Board? Do you need to do anything else?
No.
I think we're good.
Okay, cool. The agenda item for today for the E911 Board is a supplemental budget request for 3 projects: the console project, phone maintenance project, and the voice alerting system project. The console and phone maintenance were both projects that had been included in the previous year budget, and they crossed the year, so we need to add them back in for this year. And then the voice alerting project is a new project that was discussed at the previous E911 board meeting. This total request is for $644,000, and it was published as required in the Journal June 24th and July 1st. And I'm happy to answer any other questions that you may have.
I think we discussed it all at our last meeting, so this is just the supplemental to take care of it.
Yeah, and there's a resolution in the packet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I move to approve Resolution 5, 2026, a resolution appropriating additional sums of money to defray expenses in excess of amounts budgeted for Montezuma County E911 services.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to accept resolution number 5, 2026, a resolution appropriating additional sums of money to defray the expenses in excessive amounts budgeted for Montezuma County E911 services. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else? That's it? Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn the special E911 board meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.